Okay, so hello, Learn STEM. I am in a quite a predicament because my usual mic setup is not working right now, so I have to use this one that my granddad got me. Thank you, granddad. But I accidentally stepped on it, so it's not going to be the most amazing. But today, we're going to be going over a STEM major slash career tier list, and I have information on all of them. So this is going to be a quite like a jovial kind of thing, it's going to be quite kind of fun. Just we're going to look at all the different STEM careers and we're going to go over them. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I know I'm going to enjoy it because of course it's my personal preferences. So it's not going to be completely like true, but keep in mind that most of the careers on here are valid. So except for the ones that, of course I don't like. But let's get right into it. So the first one, I'm pretty sure that this is software development. And not gonna lie, software development, it needs that kind of profile picture because I mean like they do earn $110,000, but you're also at career like your computer all day and all you're doing is just writing code, which I know of course that's so biased, but I can't imagine actually having fun in software development. But honest, but you know what? You're doing it for the money, so it's kind of respectable. I would never do it. You do you. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so on to the roller coaster engineer. I feel like this one, everyone has, dreamt about this as a kid, especially if like been interested in STEM. But I feel like this one's just an overexemplified mechanical engineer. They kind of have the same idea, but it's just more like specified. I've maybe seen one like degree that offers roller coaster engineering, and I forget which university that's from. But I mean, like, it sounds fun, but it's basically, I feel like a glorified mechanical engineer. I mean, like the median, especially too, is only like 86,000, which for a STEM job is, kind of low, because STEMs usually, they make higher than that usually. And like I guess you only really need a bachelor's, but you most often need a master's with a license on your state level. So, I mean, like, it's got to be fun, but I feel like it's not on the level of B because I feel like it's something that you dreamt of as a kid, and then as you get older, you just don't want to do it anymore. Okay, so kind of for like a double whammy, like chemical engineering and chemistry. So I chose the picture of a lab accident because I feel like this is the major where all the lab accidents happen. I've had a lot of funny stories from my friend Sarah, about like stuff that she does in chemistry, how well, at least at my school, we have to, well, all the physics kids don't, and engineering kids, they don't have to wear like, pants on lab days because, we don't do anything with chemicals. But all the chemistry and bio kids have to do something like that because they have to protect themselves from incidents like this. So I feel like automatically that makes it a good career field if you want to die because so that makes it immediately something that's fun, that risk and that danger aspect to it. I feel like that would make every single day that you're working in that job just a little bit more exciting. So I feel like that automatically puts it above the roller coaster category. In chemistry, it's a good major. I might even want to like double major in optical physics and chemistry. Chemistry is just not at the level of physics, but I feel like it's pretty good, especially with the aspect that you could die at any moment in the lab. Okay, on to aerospace engineering. I feel that this one gets the most notoriety in all the fields of engineering because everyone's like, oh, I want to become like working on planes. I want to work on rockets, which is aerospace. And I mean, like I've dabbled in the aerospace field before. Like I certainly enjoy it, but I'm not going to say it's my number one. I don't feel like it's S tier. I just don't like it that much, but I can see how people find it S tier, especially because like I know like a few people that are in aerospace engineering. By few, I mean like one person, and not like personal. Actually, maybe two. I don't know, but I know one of my friends' dads. Their dad works in aerospace engineering, and they always tell me how their dad really enjoys it. So, I mean, like I've worked on science fair projects on it, and it's been fun to like design a plane, do all that. I would say that also it has a pretty good outlook. Like it's like 118,000, so it's one of the higher ones, 118K, and it has 68,200 jobs. So it's definitely not a career field that's going away anytime soon. And I feel like there's always going to be airplanes, so it's a good safe bet if you want to go for a STEM major. So for the next one, this one right here, it's computer engineering. So I feel like automatically, since it's more working with your hands and not having to do code, I feel like that puts it better than a comp science guy because you actually work on computers and data. I feel like that automatically places it better. It's still a mid kind of major. Now onto one of the degrees that I didn't actually know like even existed in STEM or was related to STEM. So it's called actuarial science, if I said that right. They earn 111,000, so pretty good. But it's basically the way that I like to think about it. It's basically like you work in Excel. Like, of course, that's not true, but basically you try to get more bang for your buck. So you're going to be, like an insurance type of person, all the math, the statistics to go behind it. So you're trying to bring up those, I guess, like profits in a company. You have to think about all the losses that you have to put into something. So it's a lot of work. But to me, all I can associate with it is like Excel or some type of statistics like job. So not gonna lie, I think that's a change majors type of situation. It does earn 111,000, but I feel like that's not enough to waste my life in Excel. Okay, so on to geological science, which, as you can see, the little rocks. All I can think about this one is like those Krista girls on TikTok. Um, I just feel like you'd be studying how rocks change your vibes as like a degree or something. I know that's not true, but I feel like, of course, like learning about the environment is cool, but I feel like that's more like a biology environmental degree. I couldn't see me like devoting my life to looking at lava or doing like geological research. And also they only get paid like 93,000, so it's on the lower end of jobs here. Honestly, I only can relate it to Krista Girl TikTok, and for that reason, since you can't be doing it for the money, which is D tier, I would immediately put it into F tier. Since if you can't do it for the money, there's no other reason to do it. On to my favorite one. It's optical physics. This is an S tier level degree because not only is it like more new than the other fields, which is why I can't get stuff like I couldn't find a lot of jobs like the job growth and the job like employment in the field. But I've known for the longest time that I wanted to go into optical physics, which is why I have an S tier, because it's obviously the best. The only downside I can see to this, it's kind of like a nuanced profession. You kind of need to go to like these specialized schools for optical physics, like University of Rochester. University of Rochester, please give me some money off because I really want to go to your school. So if you could like pass me like a full ride or something, I really want to go to your school. So because they have like an entire Hajim School of Optics and stuff like that. Well, Hajim School of Engineering, but they have like all the optics you can dream of. So, I would definitely consider this S tier because you can work on lasers, lenses, bending of light, but it also goes on to stuff like the newest telescopes that, analyze light, the red shifting, all that stuff. Basically, optical physics, I feel it's just a top tier degree. There's so much that you can do with it, which is why I want to go into it. I just need a little bit of money from University of Rochester, so hopefully they hear my message. But overall, optical physics is an SS tier. Okay, on to mechanical engineering. I feel like this one is just, you have to be just a glorified mechanic, right? The mechanical engineering, you work on like systems, you work on like engines and stuff like that. You get paid around 90,000, so it's not too bad, it's on the lower end of the higher paying jobs, and it has 4% like career growth, so it's better than the 3%. But it is a very, very big field. A lot of people go for mechanical engineering majors around like 329,000, I believe. So it's very saturated at the moment. And even though it's growing a little bit with the 4%, I feel like it's very saturated. I feel like it's a mid major. Okay, so on to biomedical engineering. Biophysics and biomedical engineering, they're kind of related. And I feel like it's very cool. If you use research, you use engineering, you use science, biology. It's kind of like a culmination of what STEM truly is, because you're creating, you're innovating, but also you're learning all the steps of the way. So I feel like it's always going to be something very intriguing for anyone to go into. So just off of that alone, I would say that it's honestly a B tier. On to mathematics and statisticians. This one, honestly, I was debating on going into this one for the longest time before I found optics in like my freshman year of high school. This one, it has a lot of bad rap about it. My history teacher said that mathematicians, they're the only major with no personality. So I feel like there's a lot of bad rap about these majors right now. But I feel like honestly, when you get to know the people that are really good at math, they have a lot of wisdom, accumulated knowledge. And I feel like since I almost wanted to go into that, I can vouch that we're not all boring. So I'd say that mathematicians, it's definitely something that I would recommend. And honestly, it's a great kind of job because not only do you like, you don't just, solve equations all day. There would be no one for that. But you create new equations, you like invent new types of ways to solve things. You're on the forefront of mathematics, so it's a very intriguing and challenging field. And for $93,000, you get paid quite a bit, for doing math all day. So I'd say if you don't like it, if you don't like math, then it would be you're better be doing it for the money. But because I like math, I'm going to put it at the optical physics level because math is entwined with optical physics. Database administration, I would say it's a pretty well paying field. It's around 100K, so it's very nice. And it has a job growth of 10%, but a database administration, I mean, like, I don't even know if you can call that STEM anymore because that's just going into management. 100K is not enough for putting the mental strain into, looking at databases. And I would just say change majors because it's going to be a long fought road, and you're going to have your midlife crisis at 23 years old. So I would suggest you to switch majors ASAP. Knowledge wise, everyone knows this one. It's called a nuclear engineer. You all know what this is. It's around $120 of median salary. The number of jobs is 14,300, except it has a job growth of negative 13%. So you're going to be hard fought to find a job. Automatically, that makes it at best a mid-major because you have to be fighting for a job. And also, I feel like nuclear engineering, there's a lot of stress that goes along with it. Like you have to be, overseeing nuclear reactors, and if not, you're going to become the next headline of a Chernobyl-like disaster. For 120K, I feel like you better be doing it for the money. You don't have to enjoy it, but as long as you can handle a relative amount of stress and know that if you fail, your job will most likely result in hundreds of thousands of deaths, I feel like this would be a good job for you. Okay, so on to petroleum engineering. This one you get paid a lot of, it's one of the higher ones. It's 140,000. You get paid a lot of money, but you're also a petroleum engineer. If you're one of those petroleum engineers that are trying to get more oil out of the ground and instead of helping the environment, I think it's immediately a change of majors F tier. We need to be helping the environment at this point in time, not killing it. And I feel like even though you can be a petroleum engineer that's creating more renewable sources of energy, I feel like if you just think about going into this field and even wanting to go into petroleum engineering, I feel like you want to destroy the environment at the base of your heart. So immediately you need to change majors and get therapy. On to computer science and / computer programming. This one is a picture of a girl crying because it reminded me of Ran and Melania, who both took comp science last, I guess over a semester ago. And they literally were telling me the entire time about how they hated it so much. They said that they were stressing out. They said they liked the reward that they got at the end for finishing a product, but they said it took them way too long to get to that destination. They said it was not worth it with all the times, stressing about it. And with an average, salary of 90,000, it's okay. It's pretty good for a STEM major, but the job growth is negative 9%. This is partly due to how, there's been so many people going into comp science. As Melania told me, you don't even need a degree most of the time to actually, be a computer scientist because you can do all the stuff you can do at home and teach yourself all the steps. Honestly, change majors because the work is not good. The money is going to be hard fought because you have to fight for that job. I feel like this is just an all-around bad major, not gonna lie. Okay, on to the dermatologist track. The biggest benefit about this is the money. You get like at medium, okay, this is medium, $330,000. Going to be living a life of luxury with this job. Of course, you got to get a medical degree from, a university, go to medical school. But honestly, the 330,000 is very nice, especially since a lot of people open their own private practices and stuff like that. So they get even more money. They don't have it taken away from them. But personally, since I'm pretty squeamish with blood, I don't like blood. I couldn't do stuff like that. It's not going to be the S tier, even with the money. I'm going to say, because it's a dermatologist, it's a medical degree, it's pretty well respected. I respect it. It's just not the optical physics level because I feel like you're inhibited. So if you want to change majors and you're like already in medical school, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to change. If you know what you want to do, this is a very cool job. It's pretty good, but it's not physics. On to the last two. This one is agricultural engineering, which is why I put a picture of cow poop on it. Not gonna lie, it has like a medium salary of 84,000, so we're getting lower. This is one of the lowest on there, if not the lowest. I couldn't really see the benefit. I would say just become a farmer if you want to do this, because you're going to be working with like the piping to like fertilizers, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be working with stuff that honestly, it's not that fun to work with, for example, cow poop. And since there's not a lot of money associated with it, I would say you can't even be doing it for the money. And it's definitely not a mid-major. I would say it's less than a mid-major. So I would say change majors. On to the last one, civil engineering. Of course, it's very good if you want to design buildings. If you want to design buildings, this is a great major for you, but I feel like it's a lot of hands-on work. So if you're a very hands-on type of person, I feel like you'd be choosing this one. But since I'm less of a hands-on type of person and I'm more like, the math type of oriented person, I feel like this one's not for me. So just from that, I feel like, you're building buildings, which is pretty cool. And that's what you think of in engineering. So that's really all the stuff I have to talk to you today. This is my tier list of all the STEM careers that I have looked up and researched about. Of course, with optical physics at the top. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments. Of course, this is just a light commentary, not actually being too serious on any part of these. Let me know if you agree at least with some of my choices. And University of Rochester, if you're hearing me, please give me some money off so I can go to your school. So with that out of the way, make sure to check back each week with more Learn STEM episodes, and hopefully I'll get my microphone fixed up for the next time. But it's been not working. So also, if you guys want a Learn STEM merch drop, if any of you want to buy some merch, we can set that up if any of you guys are interested. With that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And with that, keep on learning.